Welcome to Contemporary Black Voices, where we take on the most pressing issues affecting Black America. I am your host, Dr. Sharon Michael Chadwell. My co-host today is New York Times bestseller and doctoral extraordinaire Caleb Alexander. Out on special assignments are community activist Chris Dawkins and screenwriter Fred Williams. This week has been a heavy week in the news, from Texas to nation and across the diaspora. So Caleb and I are going to do something different today. We are going to provide our thoughts about Colin Aldred versus Ted Cruz, Trump threatening Jewish voters, Mark Robinson, Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, Oprah's United for America event. But before we get started, we ask that you hit that like button as well as subscribe to get alerts. So Caleb, are you ready for this?
I'm ready to.
All right. Let's talk about that Negro over there, Mark Robinson, who is currently the Lieutenant General in Lieutenant Governor in North Carolina. So someone did some heavy research and found out that he was a member of a pornography website called Nude Africa, where in that website, he made a series of comments that he is a Black Nazi, he is for slavery, and some other sexual and lewd comments. But interesting enough, this is the party of family values. So their representative is now running to be governor of North Carolina. I know our buddy Mario Salas had a fit on Facebook about him. So what were your thoughts when you heard about him wanting to be him being a Black Nazi and for slavery?
Wow. No, I mean, I guess there's always one. I mean, he seems to be one of the kind where he probably hates himself. He has some serious mental issues, and he'll probably continue until they remind him of who he is, and they'll remind him of what he is. And so, to me, like I said, it's serious mental. That entire party is having some serious mental issues right now.
I know. And didn't you say earlier that Kamala has given the Republican Party the spine to pull away? You want to explain that?
Yeah, right. No, so that's article I wrote. Hopefully, will be out in the paper in Black Life Texas. And it's about Kamala, and we often hear words about the Republican permission structure, and I think it's Kamala's candidacy that's enabled that Republican permission structure to come out and give the Republicans permission to vote against Trump, to oppose Trump, stand up for what's right. And so it's Kamala and her candidacy, her standing up, and allowing Republicans the space to and the freedom to join in with the rest of the nation and stand up against a wannabe dictator. So again, so the article is talking about it takes a Black woman to clean up their mess and to give and to say a Black woman saving the Republican Party and allowing them the space and opportunity and strength and voice to take their party back from the MAGA diehards. And so
yeah, because this is definitely not Reagan's Republican Party that we know about,
right, at all.
And there are a lot of nuts in this MAGA Republican Party. You got Mark Robinson. You got what's Bad Bill Dick.
Oh yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
And you got all kind of fools in there.
So Sarah Palin and Lauren Boebert and just Willie Goldberg, and all of them are nuts. And some of them, you have some of them that are just fake nuts, like Ted Cruz. You know what I mean? Josh Hawley. You know what I mean? People who are very well-educated gentlemen and who they play to their party, they play to their base, and they just act nuts.
Are they playing to the party or playing to Trump?
They're playing to Trump, who is basically in control of because the party has become just a party of nuts anyway, pretty much. a lot of the old school Republicans are on the side. They've been sidelined, you know. And I saw a statistic.
You did.
I did. And it talked about how the black men who are voting, who are Trump supporters, are non-college educated black men. And I said, that explains a lot. So I think that they're not out of the margin because the majority of Trump voters are non-college educated folks anyway. So I think the non-educated black men they fit right in with that group. It's the uneducated voter. Trump himself says he loves the uneducated.
Yeah. So speaking about Ted Cruz,
Mm-hmm.
what time we have?
We
got some
good.
time, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Ted Cruz, he may be finding himself in a situation right now because Colin Aldred is also running for U.S. Senator for Texas, and he's leading.
Mm.
You know that?
I didn't
He's
know that.
leading. And of course, Colin coming online talking about, can you please send $3? I'm going to send $3. But this is interesting that do you think Texas is going to turn blue? Are we going to actually turn blue? Because if we get a Democrat senator, then that may lead way to get rid of a Republican governor.
Hmm. Interesting. I mean, we knew. I think everyone across the country knew eventually it was going to come. But this is good news, and I mean, I guess it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I was thinking because you have the border area that's kind of turning red, that was going to slow Texas's progress in turning blue, because you have a lot of Latinos that are now moving into the Republican Party. So I really thought that was going to slow Texas progression into the purple and then into the blue column. But no, this is fantastic news. And so, and I think All Red probably can bring over Republican and independents more than other Democrats could possibly do it for several reasons. You know, one, we know he did oppose Biden, which I know we had a debate on that, and I said that was a smart move to oppose his border policies, because Biden's never going to run again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's to again, and I know I argue with Fred about it. I said that was probably part of the Democrats' permission structure. Go ahead and do what you got to do to win Texas. If you need to oppose the president, go ahead and oppose the president's border policy, because he's never going to run again anyway.
Right.
It's not going to hurt him. You know, so I mean, again, it was a smart move, separating himself on certain issues. You know, maybe the border coming out. You know, maybe a little bit more about kitchen table issues, about inflation and stuff like that. And so, I mean, and again, apparently it's helped.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what we got? We're good. We got a minute.
So we can go back to Mark.
You want to go back to Mark Robinson?
Because he's trying to say it wasn't him. He's trying to say that I guess somebody went back 12 years. Yeah.
Oh, we got to go back to that website.
Yeah, somebody went back to that website 12 years ago and changed his post, or somebody got a time machine and went back 12 years and posted on his behalf.
But the funny thing about that whole website and his profile, now, Mark, if you're listening, you're not too bright, especially if you're going to be a client or a contributor to a pornographic website. You use a pseudonym. You use a pseudonym web email account. What does he do? He uses his full name and his own email account that he has used on various accounts across different websites. So he was going to be found out. But again, this is the party of family values. I'm sure they have a reason as to why he was on that website. Maybe he was doing some research for Project 2025. I don't know.
Pornographic research?
Yeah, pornographic research as to why it's not good for folks.
But my thing is this. These folks in North Carolina, I don't know what's wrong with them, because they elected this fool lieutenant governor. So there wasn't any kind of vetting or investigation or anything before you elected him second highest office in the state. You know what I mean?
Now he
So-
wants to run for governor.
Now he wants to run for governor. So
And with that, we're going to take a couple of minutes, and we'll be right back.